Wonderful day. Can't wait to check my pee after this. I hope that I got ketones in my body, running through my body, my pee. Let's take the strip out here. Here we go. I'm almost done. Oh, I gotta go again. Let's go. Oh. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Ah, this certainly feels good. All right, let's check what we got here. What? How the heck do I not have... How do I not have ketones going through my body? I lost like 5-6 pounds last week and I don't have freaking ketones? What the mother... Oh, sorry, guys. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the ketogenic, also known as the keto diet, and I will share with you, as someone who's done the extreme version for a long period of time and done a modified version for most of my life, almost the last 10 years. I can give you some pretty damn good insight. This diet's getting really popular, and you'll find out whether, it's a good route to go, whether you should check your pee, whether you shouldn't check your pee, how extreme, how low do you have to go in carbs. These are all questions we're going to answer right now on the Health Humor Life podcast. And this is the Short Simple Health themed one. And here we go.
You're now listening to the Short Simple Health Solutions podcast. Based on logic, science, and real-life experiences, we keep it simple and lightning fast for you to view, so you can have an instant health breakthrough. Hosted by health, fat loss, and professional transformation coach, Matt Michael. Your next Short Simple Health solution starts right now.
So I noticed the ketogenic diet becoming increasingly popular as of late. And no doubt it works, and it isn't a bad route. I actually did it extensively myself, starting almost 10 years ago. And even up until now, I've been doing a certain version of that, which I'll get into in a minute. Even to this day, with I live a low to moderate carb lifestyle most of the time, most days. And the reason I said a modified version of it is that I wasn't actually trying to do the extreme keto diet for the last 10 years. But I have kept my carbs relatively low most of the time. My naturopath, to the point where my naturopath found ketones in my blood test, and her opinion of it was it wasn't a good thing, which I can't say I agree with, especially based on the studies. Right now, I want to give you a little bit of an overview of the ketogenic diet, what you may have heard, what may be true, what may not be true. I've done it, like I said, I've done it for a long time, a version of it, and I did it really hardcore for the first time about 10 years ago. Long before the major boom in popularity it has right now. In fact, just about a year ago, my naturopath was shocked that I even knew what the ketogenic diet was. She's like, oh, most people don't. That might be still true, but it's definitely gained a lot of popularity. I see a lot of ads for it and stuff, and it's like this new big thing. And I'm not putting it down by any stretch of the means at all. So let me give you an overview of the ketogenic diet. For those who don't know what it is, the ketogenic diet is a low-carb, moderate protein, and high-fat diet which puts the body into a metabolic state known as ketosis. That's a pretty boring description, but that's exactly what it does. Essentially, what that means is you're trying to figure out your macronutrients, your proteins, carbs, and fats, that you're mostly eating fats and some protein with very little carbs. So the goal of the ketogenic diet in of itself is when the body is to get in a state of ketosis. So when your body's in a state of ketosis, the liver produces ketones, which become the main energy source for the body. And this all revolves around the consumption of fat. This can be a mind F for some people because they think, fat just isn't good for you. It's not good for you. And I mean, this has long been disproven. So for those of you who still think fat is bad for you, please do some research. I'm not trying to be a dick saying that. Maybe it's just for me dealing with it for like a long time. Fat is not bad for you. Fat came about, demonizing of fat came about when food companies were promoting sugary foods as a means of addicting people to the foods and a means of profit. And sugar is what really racks on the pounds. So when your body eats a diet high in carbs, and specifically like sugary, starchy carbs, your body will produce glucose and insulin as a result of eating these. So you eat like a donut or something, your body has a giant insulin spike, a giant glucose sugar spike, which is where diabetes comes from after repeating this over and over and over again throughout your life. So glucose is the easiest molecule for your body to convert into fuel. So glucose is like sugar. When you eat sugar, it becomes the stored sugar, which is glucose. Insulin is produced to process the glucose in your bloodstream. So insulin is essentially a transporter around your body. What happens is when glucose is used as a primary energy source, fats are not needed for energy and therefore are more often stored. With the average person's diet, glucose is the main energy source because there is an abundance of it. So this isn't really a problem until you eat too much of it. So we all have a set amount where we can store a certain amount of glucose in our muscles and liver. And I feel like I'm forgetting one part, but I think it's just muscles and liver. Yeah, we have a set amount we can store in our muscles and liver. Once we go over that, it's like filling up a water glass. You can fit so much water in the glass, but once you start spilling over, that's going to go into fat stores because of the hormonal reactions and because of just having way too much sugar that your body has nothing to do with it. So this goes against the calories in versus calories out rule in a way, even though that's still an important variant, where And this explains the phenomenon of how poor people who don't eat a lot are still very obese, because what they're eating is usually cheap foods, and usually cheap foods is loaded with sugar and starch. So they may not be having a ton of calories, but they're still gaining weight. So why is that? This is what explains that. So that's just one example, because you can have you can stay under your calorie, whatever you want to call it, deficit. So, your level, whatever you figured out is your level, where if you eat that many calories, you won't keep gaining weight, you should lose weight. But that doesn't always happen, does it? I know that for a fact with some people because of many reasons. This is one of them, where you're eating too much sugar, your sugar overspills, and even though it's not more calories you can handle, you still gain weight because your body is, you're eating too much sugar and your body's putting all that extra sugar into fat stores because it can't do anything with it. Sometimes you hit a plateau in this manner as well, which goes against the calorie in, calories out rule. When you're eating, a small amount of calories for a long period of time, people's metabolisms just shut down. They stop losing weight. They absolutely stop. So that completely throws that rule out the window as well. So counting your macronutrients, your protein, carbs, and fat is definitely important. So ketosis is a natural process of the body. It's actually helped many people. There's a few studies where it helped people struggling with seizures, where it actually stopped their seizures from happening. And it's going to have a major benefit just first of all because you can't eat sugar on a ketogenic diet, and sugar is the number one cause of almost every single health problem. Just about. So when you lower your overall carb intake, glucose levels along with blood sugar levels drop, which in turn lowers your insulin levels. I know there's a lot of science. This allows the fat cells to release the water they are storing as well as whatever else. The fat cells are then able to enter the bloodstream and head to the liver. This is the end goal of the keto diet. You don't enter ketosis by starving your body. You enter your ketosis by starving your body of sugary and starchy carbohydrates. And I feel like that's not specified enough, because you can eat vegetables, which are fibrous carbohydrates, and you can still stay in ketosis because they're not spiking your insulin and glucose levels. Most vegetables. And using keto, you don't starve because you actually eat less and you feel more full. It may sound weird, but it makes a lot of sense when you know the science behind it. When you were eating mostly sugar and starch, that goes right through our bodies. So you could eat a ton of that, goes right through, you're hungry right after. This is all fat and protein, which takes much longer to digest, has a lot more nutrients, so you're going to stay full a lot longer. So let me get to... So here's the benefits of the ketogenic diet. So a lot of people will see, almost everybody who follows it correctly, will see better appetite control, improved cholesterol, blood pressure. It will improve insulin resistance, less acne. I know I had a ton of acne when I was eating a lot of sugar. Back in the day until I did some other stuff to get rid of it. If you want to know what I did to get rid of my acne, you just go to healthhumanlife.com, download the free ebook, explains it in there. I know, off topic, here we go. So I'm losing my train of thought here. So, okay. And of course, the benefit everybody's looking for in the keto diet is weight loss. And we'll get to that in detail in the end, because for the one thing I have seen is, when you go on any diet way too strongly, that's when people tend to fail. But it's all about balance. And you can do a version of the ketogenic diet without going as extreme or as low as 30 grams of carbs every day. And still be successful, and also without measuring your pee too. I'm at the point where my body, where I don't know if you guys know this, but I was once 235 pounds, so I was big. Right now I'm about 185, and I fluctuate between 175 and 190, depending on what I'm eating, if I'm trying to gain muscle, if I'm trying to lose fat, how lean I want to be. I can manipulate my body in that way from knowing what to eat. So say if I have a bad weekend, I put on 10, 15 pounds, I know exactly what to do to get it right back down either the next week or within 2 weeks after that. That's a little exaggeration for putting on that much in a weekend, or maybe we'll say vacation, which I actually did that recently after my trip to New Orleans. So some foods to avoid on the keto diet are grains, wheat, corn, rice, cereal, sugar, honey, agave, maple syrup, pretty much anything sugary, and even fruit, apples, oranges, bananas, tubers, potato, yams, legumes. So those are all foods that you avoid on the strict ketogenic diet. So let me side talk here, and if you're going on a less strict one, which you can do just by staying under your certain amount of carbohydrates in your body. So a good general rule of thumb usually is around 100 grams tops, but depending on your body type, how you process carbs, how big or small you are, you can handle more or less than that while losing weight. So that's not quite keto, but a lot of times your body will still produce ketones, and your body will still use fat as a primary source of fuel. So those are the foods that you avoid completely on that. But when you're doing not quite the extreme keto diet, you can get away with some of these foods in smaller amounts and still lose weight. Like you can still have a sweet potato with dinner. You can still have a fruit in the morning. You can still have, for instance, maybe a slice of bread in a day. But you can't do, tons of carbs every meal. That kind of defeats the purpose. So foods to eat in the keto diet, the most common ones anyway. Meats, fish, beef, lamb, poultry, egg, leafy greens, spinach, kale, above ground vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, high-fat dairy, hard cheeses, high-fat cream butter, nuts and seeds, macadamias, walnuts, a bunch of nuts, some avocados and berries, including raspberries, blackberries, and other low glycemic impact berries. That's one I actually did not realize was in the keto diet because they can still spike your sugar a little bit. But it looks like raspberries and blackberries that are low glycemic are okay. Sweeteners, back when I did it, they always suggested not to have those, but sweeteners include stevia and erythritol and monk fruit and other lower carb sweeteners, which do not produce that sugar spiking glycemic response. That's the biggest difference between those sweeteners and sugar, besides, causing cancer and stuff like sugar does. Other fats include coconut oil, high-fat salad dressing, saturated fats, etc. And if you guys, I know there's a lot of information to take in, so I will be putting all of this information on the website, on the episode number at healthhumorlife.com. If you want a whole layout of this, go to healthhumorlife.com and just search keto diet, ketogenic diet. Now, the one problem that people run into when they jump into a ketogenic diet like this is it's just too strict, right? It's just too strict. And, and the list that most fitness professionals or health professionals will give you is very limited, exactly like the one I just read right here. It doesn't really tell you how to put these ingredients together, what to do with them, what meals to make, kind of thing. So this is where I'm going to plug the Lean Sweet Queen program, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who've been listening to my podcast for a while, you know exactly what it is. It's the Lean Sweet Queen program for ladies to lose up to 9 pounds in 21 days. And the Lean Sweet program is a version of the ketogenic diet, not as extreme, but what it does is it shows you exactly how to put all these foods together. And that program in particular is catered to ladies who love sweets. So the majority of the sweets in this program are keto friendly or close to it. They'll keep your body in a fat burning mode. So I'm going to play the commercial. You guys can go to leansweetqueen.com and get a free meal plan and a free 1 week meal plan with a couple of recipes and an explanation into exactly how it works. If you like that, I welcome you to join the full program because we're building a community there. It's finally up and running, and we are going to have a great time over there. I frequent the community as well. But here's the commercial. If you guys want to join, that'd be awesome. If you want to just go steal the free meal plan, it's going to come up on a pop-up screen on leansweetqueen.com, or it's going to be right at the bottom. So this is our sponsor for the podcast, Lean Sweet Queen. And then when we get back from this sponsor, I'm going to tell you all about my final thoughts on the ketogenic diet and what I suggest doing as far as if you're going to do this diet, what you need to do to be successful. Okay? That is coming up right after this short little break with lots of cool music and dance music and stuff. And yeah, it's fun. Are you ready for a weight loss program for women unlike any else in the world? Do you want to learn how it's possible to eat desserts and sweets every single day without worrying about gaining a ton of weight, belly fat, arm fat, and I don't know, every other kind of fat? Then check out the Lean Sweet Queen 21-day weight loss program, especially designed for ladies who love sweets. This program takes you step by step through exclusive nutrition strategies, allowing you to shed up to 9 pounds in 21 days while eating sweets daily, and then you can keep losing long after that. It's even accompanied by short bodyweight workouts you can perform right at home at your convenience. You'll never be bored through this program as we keep you engaged, motivated, and entertained the entire time. It's unlike anything else out there. Just ask these ladies.
The information I learned about vitamins and supplements and just nutrition in general was eye-opening.
Made me realize how important eating is.
Despite not having the time to commit to a workout every day, I was able to lose weight just by changing the way that I eat. And I thought that was just crazy to me. I thought, you have to kill yourself at the gym every day to lose any kind of weight, but it's just simply not true. I lost 7 pounds in 28 days, and I've lost 3 more since.
I've lost 25 pounds.
I have lost 3 inches from my waist.
It's really helped me when I never thought it would be possible to lose weight.
This program is wonderful. Do it. It's worth it.
If you're ready to take the next step, lose up to 9 pounds in 21 days and beyond while eating sweets every single day, then the Lean Sweet Queen program is just for you. Visit www.leansweetqueen.com to get your 100% free startup guide and video. Remember, this is for sweet-loving ladies only and is available just for a limited amount of time. So hurry and visit leansweetqueen.com now to claim your free startup guide and video. That's LeanSweetQueen.com. Lean Sweet Queen. Eat sweets, lose weight, repeat. Welcome back. That was the Lean Sweet Queen program. Go to leansweetqueen.com. Get your free 1-week meal plan. No strings attached. Nothing you lose. You just enter your email like everything else on the web. Get it for free. You can opt out anytime. If you don't want to get emails from me, I hope you do because I'll send you some cool stuff. leansweetqueen.com. Go there. Now to finish up the keto diet here. The one thing you got to expect when you're going on a keto diet or cutting sugar in general is you're going to have withdrawals. They call this like keto brain or something like that. But what it really is your body's addicted to sugar in most cases for most people. If you're already eating a lot of sugar, your body's addicted to it. And it's like as strong as quitting cigarettes or cocaine for some people. And this is something a lot of trainers don't address with a keto diet because this goes for any diet where you're cutting sugar, which honestly, any diet where you're cutting sugar is going to be successful because sugar is the #1 culprit of weight gain. So that is the key no matter what, ladies and gentlemen. Easier said than done, which is where the Lean Sweet Queen program comes in, and those many others great programs out there that cut sugar as well. So you're gonna expect brain fog when you first start the ketogenic diet. So if you're someone who eats sugar all the time and you're starting this, you may either want to ease into it or you're gonna want to really not go that extreme route. Keep a little bit in your diet because you're going to feel off for a few days. And that's your body adjusting to a new source of fuel, as well as letting the withdrawals pass like any other drug. The sugar is basically a drug. You're going to have the same effects. It produces the same effects of dopamine in your brain as cocaine. And you're literally feeling withdrawal effects when you get off of sugar. But the longer you're away from sugar, the easier it is to stay away from it. Like right now, I can have it every once in a while, never crave it whatsoever. This is years in the making though, but it won't take you that long. The first couple weeks are the hardest, then it gets easier after that. So that's what to expect when you first start. So you might want to lay low for a few days or not go quite as extreme, kind of weed your way into it. Now, do you have to check your pee? It depends on how extreme you want to go with this. If you're doing the hardcore ketogenic diet, 20-30 grams of carbs max per day, and you want to make sure you're in ketosis, then yes, you have to check your pee. Is checking your pee-pee necessary for a success? No, not necessarily. No, I've not checked my pee-pee for over 9 years now. And I can manipulate my body any way I choose. And that's what I'm here on this podcast and in all my programs to teach you guys how to do. The other thing you want to do is make sure you keep variety in the ketogenic program, which I'm going to plug Lean Sweet Queen again. That's what it focuses on, variety. It teaches you how to make these awesome sweets and awesome other meals while keeping the whole meal plan interesting. So you're not just having, chicken and vegetables every night or steak and vegetables. It keeps things very cool and interesting and shows you how to make really quick desserts. It only take like 5 minutes to make, so you're not slaving over the stove. LeanSweetQueen.com. But you can do that in general. And that's a lot of what my future programs are going to hold are going to be based around that, showing really creative things. So you don't want to be eating the same thing all the time, and really just finding substitutes for sugary foods. Like there's some breads out there that you can get. There's some on juliansbakery.com, which has phenomenal ones. I personally like the thin one, and it's made with coconut and almond flour and whatever else, and it's the best healthy bread, keto-friendly, I've ever had. So there's a little free tip for you. And I don't make any money from juliansbakery.com. I just order it myself, and I love it. So there's no doubt, honestly, if you do the ketogenic diet, you're going to lose weight. But you can lose weight on a lot of diets, and the most important thing is this going to be sustainable for you? There's no doubt that sticking to mostly fat, protein, and fibrous carbs will result in major health benefits, as I've easily sustained my weight and overall health for a number of years doing this. In fact, I actually got a letter from my doctor one time after I got my blood tested, and the letter said, Matt, good job with your blood, everything looks good on your blood test, keep eating that low-fat diet. Well, guess what? I was eating a high-fat diet, and all my blood tests were good. So that's something the doctor did not know, nor did I tell him, because he's very old school, and he wouldn't have liked me kind of arguing with him. So, as much as I would have wanted to, at the time, had many disagreements with that doctor, he's retired now, probably a good thing. And I'm not trying to shun doctors here right now, but sometimes, if I could be very honest, doctors get a giant ego, they refuse to learn anything new, and they don't really listen to their patients. On the other hand, there's a lot of good doctors out there that are constantly learning, constantly improving, and constantly listening to their patients. Those are the good ones. And my stepdad is actually a cardiologist. He's a heart doctor, and I was actually the one that helped him lose weight and teach him a lot of what he knows. And now I don't know how much weight he's lost now. I can't remember. He's lost a good amount of weight, definitely in the double digits, over 50. So yeah, I was the one who ended up helping him with that. Because simply they just weren't taught this kind of information. They were taught kind of the old school food pyramid stuff, which doesn't work, which is why we're where we are as a country right now. Anyway, closing up here. And also, the good thing about the ketogenic diet, or cutting sugar in general, is you don't have to exercise your ASS off. You just don't. And any trainer, any health professional that tells you have to exercise like crazy to just get like a normal, like, lean body is not true. Like, most of my clients do very minimal exercise. And it really depends on your goals. If you want to look ripped and shredded, then yeah, you got to exercise a lot. But if you just want to have a flat stomach and be like a normal weight, then no, you don't have to. It's all about what you eat, getting creative, and sustaining it long term. So this is the power of this way of living. I've gone through periods where I only worked out 1 to 2 days a week doing this kind of nutrition. That wasn't when I was doing hardcore keto. That was when I was doing, moderate keto. Not really trying to do keto, but still having ketones in my blood or in whatever when I got tested. Keeping your carbs relatively low makes a major difference. And you have to be careful for the hidden sugars too, which is what a lot of my people run into. Make sure you're reading the labels and making sure you know how much sugar you're taking in. The drinks can be especially tricky. So, in closing, don't feel like you need to be in strict ketosis 100% of the time of your life in order to maintain and get the results you want. It's just not necessary or realistic for long-term maintainable change. Yes, we definitely have to cut sugar and carbs to be reasonably healthy. And for some body types, you have to cut more than others. I know, it's just not a fair world, is it? However, this doesn't mean you have to cut them out entirely, or that you can't come out of ketosis for a day or two to have, an ice cream on the weekend or something like that, and then go right back to it. You just can't have, 6 ice creams or waffles and then ice cream and then a giant sub and stuff, that would go a little overboard, kind of set you back, unless you're maintaining your weight, and you can just go right back to it the following week, because it is always easier to maintain your weight than it is to lose. You got to put a little more work in when you're losing. So you don't have to check, okay, so like I said, however, this doesn't mean I'm losing my place here, because I wrote a little bit of notes here. You also don't have to check your pee content daily in order to lose body fat. You don't. You can if you want to, if you really want to, if it helps keep you on track, but you don't have to check your pee. And if you check your pee, and you're not in ketosis, but you lost 5 pounds the week before, 3 pounds, whatever it is, don't be upset. You're good. You're doing good. Like I said, you always got to work harder when you're losing body fat than when you're at a maintenance level. Once maintaining, balance is key, not checking your pee. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. And I hope that was very helpful. If you want to see this stuff all written out in keto diet, whatever, all kinds of tips for that, please go to healthyhumanlife.com, search ketogenic diet in the search bar on the right. And that's all I got to say for today. If you're a lady and you want to lose up to 9 pounds in 21 days, check out the free meal plan on leansweetqueen.com. And if you feel really inclined, you'll join us in the community and program, and I'd certainly love to have you. But no pressure there. Get your free meal plan. See if you like it. If you don't like it, no worries. And I will see you guys on the next podcast. We got Psych K coming up, which is an amazing way to change your entire life by changing your subconscious beliefs. We got a podcast on anorexia, whom I interviewed one of my actually ex-girlfriend / friend / clients who actually was able to completely cure herself of anorexia bulimia. Largely with my help, not knowing what I was doing at the time, but we were able to figure it out together, and I just interviewed her so we can put that out there and help a lot of women struggling with that right now. That's coming up. We also have some crazy stuff about aliens and stuff. I interviewed a lady named Zion Zader who's going to talk about alien abductions she's experienced, spiritual health, and the whole 9 yards. And I also have a crazy spiritual experience that I need to talk about that I haven't gone through yet, but I'm doing in a couple of weeks, and it's a little bit of a secretive process, but I will reveal it on a future episode of this podcast. So subscribe, join us, share with your friends. We are a growing audience, and I appreciate all of your support. Thank you very much, guys. If you have any questions, please go to the blog post on the healthyhumanlife.com, find the keto one. I will do my best to respond in a quick manner. You can also go to our Facebook group, which is also linked on the site. Once again, ladies, leansweetqueen.com, leansweetqueen.com program. I will see you next time, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Health Humor Life podcast. I really appreciate your support, guys. I just want to take a moment to remind you that you can join our email list, view show notes and the blog, as well as get some free guides on healthhumorlife.com. The guides include various topics, including how I lost my 50 pounds in 3 months, how I was able to naturally cure my chronic anxiety, depression, insomnia, lower blood pressure, eradicate erectile dysfunction, and much, much more. I put these together from what I've been through to help all of you who may be struggling with these issues too. You can also request topics or apply to be a guest on the website too. And you can do all this by just visiting healthhumorlife.com. As always, if you have a minute to leave us a positive review on the podcast listening station of your choice, I would really appreciate it, and it helps us out a ton. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. I'm Matt Michael. I hope you all have a wonderful week full of positive happenings and just great stuff. I will see you next time as we keep growing our audience, which is all thanks to you, with new shows, with paranormal shows. We're going to have the online dating stuff coming up, so send your stuff in. It's going to be awesome, and it's all because of you guys supporting us and helping us grow. Thank you, and I will see you next time. I'm Matt Michael. Thank you for listening to the Health Humor Life podcast. I really appreciate your support, guys. I just want to take a moment to remind you that you can join our email list, view show notes and the blog, as well as get some free guides on healthhumorlife.com. The guides include various topics, including how I lost my 50 pounds in 3 months, how I was able to naturally cure my chronic anxiety, depression, insomnia, lower blood pressure, eradicate erectile dysfunction, and much, much more. I put these together from what I've been through to help all of you who may be struggling with these issues too. You can also request topics or apply to be a guest on the website too. And you can do all this by just visiting healthhumorlife.com. As always, if you have a minute to leave us a positive review on the podcast listening station of your choice, I would really appreciate it, and it helps us out a ton. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. I'm Matt Michael.